Uncle Ted, the ice cream alchemist, at Ice Cream Every Day with Nutella Bacon Ice Cream. I did this special for my friend Katharina in Iceland because she's incredible and I'd do anything for her. My darling cat loves bacon, and this is the only way I can get it to her. The truth is, that's how we met, talking about bacon on Facebook. Who knew that 4 or 5 years ago I would discover one of the most intelligent, graceful, and cultured women around because of my conversation about bacon? I just know she would love my bacon, and let me tell you, I can't wait to give it to her. In fact, this starts with bacon, a whole pound of it. This is the thick-cut bacon, but you can use thinner slices if that's all you have. I placed it on a tray lined with parchment paper, and you can use foil if you want. I baked it in an oven set to 400 degrees, and I baked it for about 10 minutes. Then I removed it to a plate lined with paper towels. I made sure to pat the grease off, and I drained all the grease from the cooking sheet. Then I put the bacon back into the oven for another 5 minutes. After that, I removed the bacon to a new layer of paper towels, patted it dry, and what we end up with is some of the crispiest bacon you'll ever find. It's perfectly cooked to the point it's almost fragile. And that's what we want because, as you'll see next, we're going to break up this bacon into the smallest pieces possible. I let this bacon cool for about 30 minutes before the next step, which was chopping it up into the finest pieces possible. I'm using a food processor to do this. If you don't have one, a blender will work, or if need be, put the pieces into a plastic bag, seal it, and roll over it with a rolling pin. Whatever works, right? So, I pulsed this for about a dozen times or so until it couldn't get any finer. Upon further review, I'm thinking I should have left this to chop for at least a minute or so. I'm thinking I could have gotten some finer pieces by doing that. Next time. I was a bit surprised at how much grease was in this. Plus, I was amazed at how 1 full pound of bacon was reduced to less than a half a cup. But I tasted this, and it was incredibly powerful in flavor. I'm going to remember that if I ever need bacon flavoring for something like a soup, because doing it this way really increases the number of applications. I'm thinking bacon chocolate chip cookies are in my near future. Next was blending a cup and a half of sugar with a 1/4 teaspoon of guar gum as a stabilizer and shaking it all up. This is the best way of blending those two ingredients, and you can get guar gum at pretty much any health food store. Don't be afraid of stabilizers, they really work. Then I broke eggs, 2 whole eggs, 4 yolks, and I used the egg shell to separate the whites from the yolks. Hold on to those egg whites, they make great omelets without all the cholesterol. Or you could make a nice pavlova, which I'm thinking is something I might be doing soon. Then we add the dairy. I always start off with a cold pan. First, 4 cups of heavy cream and 2 cups of milk. I like to rinse out the measuring cups with the milk because I don't want to leave any cream behind. I really am lucky the dairy I use is just down the road from me. When I buy my cream, it's so fresh that a few hours prior it was inside a cow. Next, I add 1 3-ounce packet of dry, non-fat milk. This is a great stabilizer that helps absorb any extra moisture and really ensures your ice cream is scoopable. That way, you don't need a chisel after it's been frozen. Next, I added 1 jar of Nutella and 10 ounces of bitter, unsweetened chocolate chopped finely. I made a mistake on the camera angle, so I don't have video of that, so you'll just have to trust me. It's what I did. Here's a hint. Place your jar of Nutella in hot but not boiling water for about 20 minutes before you need to use it. You'll find it comes out of the jar very easily that way. Don't nuke it in the microwave because the lid has foil that will cause fireworks in most microwave ovens, like mine did last week. Then keep stirring and mixing while heating the cream on medium-low heat. You don't want to have it under too high a heat, or trust me, it'll get out of control very quickly and you'll have one hell of a mess. In fact, I made a huge mess doing this. You can't tell, but my fingers wrapped in paper towel because I sliced it open while reaching without looking into a drawer to get a spatula, and I splattered chocolate cream all over the fridge next to me and the wall, and the stove, and the floor, and my shirt. Yeah, it took me about 30 minutes to clean my kitchen after making this. Now it's time to add the eggs and sugar to the hot cream. This is tricky, but not impossible. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. First, make sure your eggs and sugar are whipped until they turn a pale yellow. Then, while beating the eggs, just add a cup or so of the hot base. Beat it for a few seconds, and then add another cup or so of the hot base. What we're doing is we're slowly bringing up the temperature of the eggs as we blend it with the hot cream. By doing it this way, we get a custard instead of scrambled eggs. Keep adding the hot cream in increments while beating the eggs. Keep those eggs moving so they don't have time to cook. Eventually, you'll be able to add more and more until it's all mixed and blended together. Be careful not to beat them too much or you'll whip air into the mix, and that doesn't make for very good ice cream. It's called overrun, and it takes something away from the richness. Once it's all blended, you can put it back into your pot. Once you have it back into your pot, put it back on the stove on medium-low heat and keep stirring. What we need to do here is heat the base up to 165 degrees and hold it there for at least 60 seconds to kill off any cooties that might still be in the eggs. To be honest, most eggs are fine, but just in case, this is to ensure the eggs don't make anybody sick. I'm using a candy thermometer I bought for $4. It has a nice little clip on the side so I can clip it to the side of the pot, and that way I can stir without having to hold anything. This is kind of important, so make sure you get it to 165 degrees, but be careful. You are approaching the temperature where it can start to foam up and boil over, and trust me, that makes a huge mess to clean. That's another reason I tell you to keep the temperature down around medium-low, and why we just keep stirring as it heats up. Once you get it to the right temps, take it off the heat and set your strainer over your container that you'll put the base into. This can get tricky, so be careful and take it slow. We need to do this to get the bits of egg that's scrambled out and the larger pieces of bacon. Frozen bacon will break teeth and aren't a happy surprise. By the way, the bacon I pulled out, I put into a dish and set in the fridge to cool for a few hours. It was a wonderful snack. Once you've got it into your container, put a piece of plastic on top and put that in the fridge to cool for a full 24 hours. After 24 hours of chilling, you're ready to churn. I'm using my rival churn where I need to add ice and salt. This does bigger batches than my Cuisinart, and I had a lot of churning to get done tonight, so I just used this one. All I did was follow the simple instructions and churned it, and when it was done I put it into containers to give to my friends. I hope Kat enjoyed this video, and if I could figure out a way to get ice cream to Iceland, I'll send her some. And I only wish I could do more for such a wonderful lady who really means a lot to me. Folks, thanks for watching. Please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, if you're not eating ice cream for breakfast, then what's the point of being an adult? Thanks for watching.